This is going up super late, but like, time is a concept. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Lucia, and today we are going to be doing my April wrap-up. This month was a whole mess. I started books and then I stopped reading and I picked other ones. I've been having a lot of ideas, a lot of blogs, different things going on, and you can tell because of the books I read. This month I participated in Realmathon. I was team serious. We were at second place and I definitely didn't make that much contribution to my group, but I did read 8 books and that's what we are going to talk about. I'm still not able to make it to 10 books at least, like I had been doing at the beginning of the year. But I read so many amazing books that I don't even care. So let's start with my 5 stars. I actually, where is it? I won't ever get tired of just picking up books. But this month I reread how do I not remember the name? She Gets the Girl. This is already made it to like my favorite books. Whenever someone asks me, I can confidently say this one. A bit of context about my taste. I usually give 5 stars to books that I really like the vibes of or that in the moment felt amazing. But then if I reread it or start thinking about it, I probably will change that rating to 4 or 4.5. So the fact that this book is a 5 star on my second reread already makes it my favorite. I adore that trope where the playboy or playgirl falls for someone and doesn't look back.
You wish that was you, huh?
I also low-key have a crush on both of these girls, like if they were real and they went to my college. And that's how much I'm going to say about that book because I've been talking about it a lot, so just go and read it. Then I read She Who Became the Sun. And I actually, when I picked it up, I had to go into TikTok and be like, if you ever procrastinate reading a book like I do, because I know I'm going to love it, so I push it just because maybe I don't, but I usually do. And this was one of those cases where I've been hearing about it a lot everywhere for a long time, and I'm just now reading it, and it was a 5 star. This one is about our main protagonist that she had a fortune teller tell her that she was going to be nothing and her brother was going to be everything. He had a huge prophecy of success and he was going to be overall lucky, but he ended up dying, so she takes his place. And that's how it starts. Like, it has so much, but at the same time, it's not overwhelming. It has a lot of connections with Mulan, and that is one of my favorite movies. Plus, it's Sapphic. But what made me give this book a 5 star was the entire political system and how everyone was looking for their own benefit. And there are different types of families, different groups. There are spies. Everyone is trying to survive and to make it to the top. And our main protagonist, she is so badass. She wants to be great in the future and she stops at nothing to get that. And I just loved it. Like, at the beginning I was like, why are you putting so much effort? Like, she was tiring me just by reading how much she was trying to get there. But then I got it. Like, she is going to be great because she is going to make it happen. It empowered me at some point. Like, I just wanted to take over the world after reading this book. The other 5 star book I had is actually from one of the authors of She Gets the Girl, and that was The Lucky List. This one is about a main character. She was dating a boy, but then something happened and now she doesn't talk to him or to her entire group of friends, so she is very lonely. She lost her mother a couple of years ago due to cancer, and now a friend of her father is coming to town to live and he has a daughter, so they start getting to know each other they make a friendship, but also this is a romance, a contemporary romance. So, and it's sapphic. This was the book that made me cry this month, and probably last month too. Like, it's been a while since I have a cry for a book, and it was due to a lot of factors in this book. The mom that died from cancer that she misses, and like the bond they had together. It's really like, how are you not going to feel anything while reading that? But then also at the same time, she is trying really, really hard to be straight. But of course, it's not working. She is also very scared of what other people might think. She also doesn't want to really deal with that because she doesn't have her mother there for her to talk to, and she feels like she didn't get the chance to show who she really is to her mother. So it's like really, really beautiful, in an introspective way, like getting to know this girl and everything she goes through. The sapphic romance was also cute, but definitely something like more on the side. And the main protagonist was just this teenage girl getting to know herself and experiencing emotions and dealing with everything that you deal with when you are a teen. And my last 5-star read is Promise Boys. This book is so good. Like, the audiobook of this is phenomenal. It has at least 10 people narrating different characters. You have background music, you have sound effects. You actually feel so immersed. I especially like the parts where they are like watching the TV news. And while I was listening, I could actually picture everything because it felt so real. It's about these 3 teenage boys that go to an all boys school, and the principal ends up dead. Like, he gets shot, and these 3 boys are the main suspects. So they are trying to figure out who actually did it and if it's among them or someone else that no one is looking for. I adore these kids. Like, these kids are my babies. Especially there is one that is from El Salvador. He was so sweet. He was the most adorable thing. Like, he has such a strong relationship with his grandma, and it was adorable. Then one of the other kids has, the main point is a relationship he has with another girl, and the way he's obsessed for this girl, not in a creepy way, but in a teenage can't stop thinking about her. It was so sweet. Then there is another kid. This one feels really lonely. She's like the clown person that never shows their true emotions because they are trying to make everyone laugh and have a good time, but in reality they have so much more depth. And I adore these kids. The story is so good. Like, just go and listen to the audiobook because it is an experience. And just like I had 4 5-stars, I also had 4 books that disappointed me. The first 2 are ones that I actually DNF'd. The Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I listened to the audiobook of this and I didn't make it that far. This one obviously didn't count to Realmathon just because I didn't make it to halfway point. I didn't like the way it's written, the way the character sounded. Everything was going by so fast. Like I said, I didn't read that much and so much had already happened. And this girl kept going from one place to another. Like, she was a leaf, just going and not really having a personality and like making choices. I know she couldn't really make choices. I don't know. I just didn't like. I'm so bad with words. I don't know how to explain, but I just knew this book wasn't going to be for me. And then I DNF'd Sorry Bro, which was this is one of my most anticipated releases of 2023, and I DNF'd it. Like, I feel betrayed. It's just that this book, the main character, it's so unlikable. She kept talking bad stuff about her own culture and being really disrespectful of other people's opinions and experience and everything related to her culture. I know some people grow up not being connected to their culture, and some families even are ashamed of their own culture because of colonization and this stuff. But this girl, actually, her entire family is okay with her culture. She is really invested. Her entire family is really invested. She is the only one being disrespectful. So I didn't really like it. Plus, she constantly talked about the love interest body, and not in a romantic way. It felt wrong. Like, I read that and I was like,
What happened to hello? How are you? My name is. What happened to that?
there is one way to say something and be respectful, and then there is over sexualizing a person. And this girl saw those two things and just went, and I didn't like it. And lastly, the two books that disappointed me were Nana. This book is a horror story about this family whose family member recently died. A grandma that used to care for a main character as his mother, but the mother disappeared. So now that grandma is dead, the mother actually comes back and decides to stay at their house, and that's where creepy things start to happen. This book, the beginning of it, it was amazing. Like, I was so hooked. I was scared. I was actually, because I read it for a blog where I stayed up 24 hours or 48, and I read this at night. So I was like, I cannot sleep while listening to this. What am I going to do? And then after the first chapter, it's just wasn't for me. For me, the most scary stuff are ghosts and things you cannot see, creepy stuff. But this one is about a monster. And for me, monsters, like, that is like watching a cartoon. I don't know, I don't find monsters scary. Plus, this book was really sexual, which I wasn't expecting. That is more personal, just because if I want to read a book with sexual stuff, I go to read smut and I know what I'm getting into. This just came out of nowhere and it was really disgusting, because it is wrong, and that is the entire point of the book. I know, but I didn't enjoy it. That's why I gave it 2 stars. It was weird and not in an interesting way. I still finished it because I wanted to know where all of that stuff was going to, but I wouldn't read it again. And lastly, we have The Witch and the Vampire, which I got an arc of this and I was so excited. This book is about a witch and a vampire. It's a sapphic story. They used to be best friends, then something happened and now they hate each other. But this is a retelling of Rapunzel. So the vampire is imprisoned in her own house and she managed to escape, and she finds the witch in the woods, and they get in this journey where the vampire is trying to find her freedom and the witch is trying to kill her. It sounds so interesting. And again, at the beginning, I was super hooked. The characters sounded so good. Everything was going amazing. But then things started to happen for the plot and the characters lost their personalities. Everything just vanished from their brains and they went with the plot. Ava, I hated her from like chapter 2 or 3. She is the vampire, because that's when she loses her personality. She spent her entire life hating vampires, but now that she is one, she wants to find her freedom going to the vampire kingdom. Where is her entire fear? Like, she just completely forgot the 17, 16 years she spent fearing these beings, and now she just wants to be surrounded by them. She feels safe there. Like, what? And then Kay, she's the witch. I actually like her up until the end. She was the one that made me want to continue reading, and also the magic system, because you have different types of witches, you have vampires. The woods they are going to, it's enclosed because it's supposed to keep the vampires there. So it had a little bit of the Hunger Games vibes, because there were hunters and vampires. Everyone was enclosed in that space and they were trying to kill each other. So that was really interesting. But Kay, until the end, I love her. At the end, she lost her personality again. I just cannot accept that they spend so much time with their thoughts, the beliefs, everything, and they can just forget about it in a week. You know how hard it is? I'm trying to change the way my brain works and the thoughts I have. Maybe I didn't like this just because I'm jealous of her, but it didn't feel real. Maybe I should have started with the bad ones and finished with the good ones, because now I'm like, do I even want to read? Anyways, those are all the books I read this month. Let me know if you had any 5-star or 1-star read this month. And if you made it this far, comment the knife emoji, just because I'm still thinking about Promise Boys. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I will see you next week.